Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Kappel here. How are you today? This is kind of a new video for us, isn't it? Well, the reason why I'm doing the video this way today is because, as you can see on the screen, there is a book called The Tiny Seed. And I do not have that book with me at my home, so I found a way to show this book to you online. So this is a book by Eric Carle, and as you can see here, that there's lots of orange papers that Eric Carle has painted with lots and lots of different brushstrokes. And remember, just like you see here with the green, he cuts out those papers and turns them into the shapes of that he needs for the book. So today it's called The Tiny Seed, and there is his name, Eric Carle. Okay. So Eric Carle is the author and the illustrator. So let's see if I can make this book a little bit bigger. I'm not sure if I can do that. Okay, so let's start our story. Here's our seed. It is autumn. What's another name for autumn? What season of the year that means autumn? Fall, that's right. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? So can you see that this is wind? Right. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. See that? The wind carried it too close, and it got too hot and it burned up. Another seed lands on a tall, icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. So here are all the bigger seeds. There's our tiny seed. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. So here's the wind again carrying the seed. And here's the one that lands in the water. And here's our tiny seed. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It's hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Where's our tiny seed now? Right there. And it's very hard for plants to grow in soil that's too hot or too dry. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Where is our tiny seed? Right there. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. There's our mouse eating all the other seeds, and this is the ground, and this is the layer of snow, and you can see up here, it's snowing. The top of this page here reminds me of another Eric Carle book called Dream Snow. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore, they are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big, fat weed, and it takes all of the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants, and that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It'll be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. So, this is the big fat weed. Weeds are bad for plants, aren't they? Because they took up all the rain and all the sunlight that it needed. Where's our tiny seed? There he is. Now he's starting to sprout. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along, and oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow any more. He didn't know it was there. He was just running by, barefoot in the grass. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First, there are footsteps. Then a shadow looms over them. Then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. This is our friend right here. That's his neighbor. Oh, a boy has picked the flower to give it to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It's taller than the houses. Now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. Oh, wow. Have you ever seen a flower that big, boys and girls? No, I don't know if the only one that exists that big. Do you? No. All summer long, the birds and the bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it is autumn again. So a whole year has gone by, right, boys and girls? The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. So there's the wind again, taking some of the fall leaves and then some of the petals. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind. But the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens. Out come the many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. See that? That's the seed pod, and the wind is spreading the seeds. What do you think is going to happen with all those seeds that get blown away by the wind? Oh, the end. Let's go back. So, what do you think is going to happen with all those seeds? You could be right. More seeds would plant more flowers. These are some other books by Eric Carle. And what I want you to do, boys and girls, I'm going to put some activities for you. I want you to think about things that are good for flowers. And then I want you to think of things that are bad for flowers. When I say good, that means some things that help flowers to grow. And what are some things that are bad for flowers or stops it from growing? So remember what happened here and here? Is that good for flowers? No. Remember this, the mouse? Right. And the bird? And the dry, hot soil of the desert sand? And too much water? And too cold? See, plants like it they're very fussy about how they like to grow. They like it like Goldilocks style, just right. And there's the wind. Now, why would the wind be good for seeds and for plants? Kind of like the same reason why birds can be good, or bees or bats could be good, because they move the seeds around and it promotes growing. That means it helps them to grow in new places. All right, well, that's all for now, boys and girls. I hope you liked my story. Bye bye for now.